Good morning. It is Saturday, October 24th, and it is just approaching 10 a.m. in the morning. I am at the Massasauga Provincial Park. Pete's Place access is actually just about 20 minutes from my house, and I'm going to do a one-night camping trip here. I'm going to do something that I've been wanting to do for a really long time, ever since I made my hot tent, and that is a canoe hot tenting trip. So I've just booked a site right on the lake at the access, just across from it, so it's not too much of a paddle. And I'm gonna paddle in and set up the hot tent and find some wood to burn and stay comfy cozy. It's about -2 right now, and it's supposed to stay chilly all day. It was actually snowing a few minutes ago, but it's just like some really light snow. And yeah, I'm gonna see how it goes. So I'm super excited to try something new, and I hope it's a fun adventure. All right, I am at the access. It has just started snowing again. It is chilly and snowing, but that's okay. I don't have very far to go, and I've got lots of warm gear with me, so all good. I'm gonna unload the canoe and get on my way. There's nobody here. It's really, really nice. All right, well, it is 10:15, and I have got the canoe all loaded up. I've never had this much stuff in my canoe before. I wasn't actually sure if it was all gonna fit, but it did. So I'm gonna make my way. Just have to go to the other side of the lake. So I'm gonna do that. The water's nice and calm, winds are down, as opposed to yesterday when we had that big storm. The sky's pretty dark right now. It's still been snowing on and off, so I'm gonna head out. All right, I am on the water, on my way. The selfie stick is actually a little bit crooked because it's not sitting properly because the hot tent is jammed in between my backpack and the thwart where I usually put the stick, so sorry about that. Well, it's about 10:35, and I'm just making my way through Blackstone Harbour. The sky looks really dark. The sun was out a few minutes ago. It was really weird. It's very cloudy, but it's very calm out. Just a tiny bit of wind, and so far so good. I think I'm maybe about 10 minutes, 15 minutes away from the site. All right, well, I'm just arriving to my campsite, and it's just starting to snow again a little bit. It's not going to stay, I don't think. It's only supposed to be like 4 or 5 degrees today. It feels like 0 or 1. So I don't think it's going to stick around, but it's snowing a tiny bit. Probably can't see it on the camera. So I'm just pulling up to the campsite here. I did remember that I did come and check out this campsite when I was doing a day trip from a campsite. I was camping on this lake at another time. And I do remember seeing the tent pad out on the rocks, but this morning, the reason I booked the campsite was because there's a picture of a really flat spot that's in the forest, or like a little bit back in the campsite off the rocks, and I thought that would be a perfect spot to set up a hot tent. I don't know if I can set up the hot tent on the platform. I don't think I can. I have to stake the corners down, and therefore the platform might be really tricky, but I'll see the situation when I get there, I guess. Well, I've been checking out this platform since I landed the canoe, and I really just can't see any good way of setting up the tent here. There are some, like there's a hook on one of the corners, and on this side there's one there, and there's one there, but those are too far apart. One of those would work. And that one is actually 8 feet apart, which is how long my tent is. So that one would work. Then I have nothing here or here. I could probably put a string through there, but I don't know how I would be able to do it there. It's also extremely exposed being out here, and with the weather not being that great, I can't see it working with the hot tent. So I've been walking around the campsite. Most of it is rock at the front anyways. Over on the side, there's a really nice fire pit area. It's somewhat sheltered because there's these nice big rocks kind of sheltering you. But this is what the ground looks like, so not too bad. There's a lot of roots, so I would probably end up either laying on one of those roots, or the hot tent would be too close to the fire pit. Now, I'm not planning on having a fire in the fire pit and in the hot tent. That's just too much wood for me. So the fire pit is kind of irrelevant. So I could, I guess, set it up here, but again, there's a lot of roots and stuff, and I don't know, I just want like a nice flat spot to sleep on. And everywhere I look, there's roots. So, option number 3, and this is actually kind of good for me too, because the privy is way over on this side. There's my canoe. So there's a little trail here that takes you to the other side of the campsite. Where you will find the food storage bin, the green bin. And way over there is the privy. So I thought maybe there's like a nice flat spot here somewhere, and there actually is, and I think this is what the picture was. So that's a really nice flat spot. The only thing is that this bin is going to be in all my pictures, which I obviously don't like, but sometimes you just have to, do stuff. It doesn't work in every situation. There's also a pretty okay flat spot here. That might be good. I think I will bring the canoe around into this little area instead of carrying everything all the way through. And I'll dock here, and then I will find a spot over on this side in the forest that's more protected. And plus, I don't know about putting a wood stove on top of that wood platform. Like, what if an ember drops out and I set the platform on fire? Like, I don't know. This is all damp ground and stuff, so it would just be easy to put it out. Another thought, anyway. Well, I managed to get the tent set up. Looks pretty good. Got some saggy parts in the front of it that I've noticed the last few times I've set it up. I just so happen to have like 2 trees in the perfect spot to put a line out, and that seems to have resolved the issue. So that's good. It's pretty much down all the way around except to the back, of course, a little bit where I'm sleeping. So I just put some leaves against there, which normally would be snow. I don't want to drop the pole too much. It will sink into the ground a bit. And the same thing for the side where the stove's going on. But again, just a little tiny gap, not too much. Maybe a chipmunk will come and visit me. And then I've got the window back there, the new window that I put in last year. I think I only did 1 trip with the window in. Oh, it's about 12:30. Got the tent set up, and it is snowing once again. Alright, it is just going on 1 o'clock, and I have finally finished doing all the things I have been taking my time, taking pictures. I moved the canoe, videos. Anyways, have everything set up now. So there's my chair. There's the bin. Brought stuff in that I'm just using as a table. I got my bear vault there. My clothes are in a giant Ziploc, so they just stay nice and dry. I've got a little tarp down underneath my bedding. I didn't bring my ridge rest or anything like that, like my foam for underneath. I just have my thermarest here this time. And just a tarp and my thermarest, because it's only going to go down to like -4 or -5, something like that. So not crazy cold. I just put the tarp up, like kind of bathtubed it up against the back wall there because there was a bit of a gap. I got my sleeping bag, my pillow, my backpack's over there. I got these last year. They're supposed to be 8-hour logs. They're fake logs, and I like to put them in at night with just like one log and one piece of wood, just to make sure I stay nice and warm while I'm sleeping. So I just brought 2, so that's like a good 6-7 hours of burning time. So that'll keep me warm. And then I just brought a little bit of wood that I had at home. I do live in Muskoka. I am 20 minutes away, so I am within the region of being allowed to bring it. And this wood is actually still wood that I had on my property when I bought my house. So it is like really local. And yeah, the stove's all set up. Got the vent open. Looking out the window. Got my pots and pans over there for cooking later. And I'm gonna have some lunch now. I'm hungry. Well, I've packed up my lunch and some water and a few things, and I'm on the other side of the campsite. It's not really that far, but I thought I would come over here and sit at the table. It's nice and sheltered over here as well. And just look out on the bay. Maybe I'll see a beaver or a deer or a moose or something. I got my new toque on. I like it. It's nice and warm. And I got the little banana on the top there. This is from my friends Emma and Brian. They say that they enjoy my videos, and they wanted to make me something because I entertain them. So they sent me this beautiful toque and another one. And some homemade spoons and lots of Jolly Ranchers, which I brought some of those too. It's 1:15. Feels like I've been here for so long. I think I got here around 11:15 to the campsite. I launched at like 10:15 or 10:20, and I got to camp somewhere around 11 anyways, just before 11. So set up the hot tent. I've done all the things, and I'm hungry, so I'm gonna have some lunch. I have once again brought my German salami. I know I'm like not getting any points for originality here, but I do have these. These are new. Well, I brought them on my last 2 trips or so. They were in the bear vault, but I kind of forgot they were there. So they're just like little toasts. They're all broken actually, so they obviously were in the bear vault for a while. So I have to be really careful not to get crumbs everywhere because I don't like feeding the animals. But they're really good with German salami and ha 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 moo. I have a bunch of those. Actually, this is a lunch that I packed for Sue and I. We went hiking last weekend, and we ended up squirrel French fry trap. So we didn't eat this. So I had it like all packed up in my bag, and I even have Sue's baby Belle here. So I guess I get to eat that. Thanks, Sue. Hard to cut it thin, especially when your hands are cold. My hands were fine when I was setting up. I actually had my gloves on for a while, and then I took them off, and then I had to rinse them off in the water. They were so dirty because I was moving the leaves around to like push them up against the cracks around the bottom of the tent, and my hands got really dirty. So I thought, oh, the lake's right there. I'll just stick them in there. And now my hands are frozen because they were wet. So I forgot about that water cold thing, winter. Yeah, it's like you gotta retrain yourself almost for winter, you know? My nose all red. There's like a whole bunch of geese over there. So there were some men here, not here, but right across there in a speedboat. And I'm not sure what they were doing. They got off and they went up onto the rocks, and then they got back in the boat, and they were talking really loudly. They were very loud. I think there were like 3 or 4 of them in the boat. And now all I hear is geese over there. I'm wondering if maybe they're feeding them so that they can come and hunt them. I don't know, but I'm glad my tent's on the other side. Alright, well, I have been collecting wood all afternoon. I found some dry stuff in the forest, which was amazing. So I cut up a bunch of that. I have another pile out front with just some smaller stuff like that. And just got a little fire going. Put the candle in there just to kind of get it a little warm and warm up the stove. I've done that before at shows. I put like 3 candles in there just to kind of, so you can see the fire through here. It gives it a little ambiance. But I notice when I do that the stove actually gets warm. So if the stove gets warm, that means the space gets a little warmer. So I just did that just to kind of get things started. Put a candle in there, put a couple of sticks in, and just gonna sit here for a bit and relax. I'm pretty tuckered out from all that sawing and stuff. So a lot of wood processing involved with a wood stove. Even if you bring wood, there's still lots to do. So I want to stay nice and warm tonight. I'm in the tent, and I just heard this gigantic splash. And there's a heron like 20 feet from me. I'm inside the tent though, looking through my new window. Isn't it awesome? Oh. Must have heard me. He took off. That was pretty cool. Bye, guy. I have to admit, I really miss that sound. Oh yeah. It's getting nice and toasty warm in here now. Well, the wind is gusting outside, and it's still been snowing and raining on and off all afternoon. I'm sitting here in my tank top. It is really hot in the tent. I have closed the damper and practically closed the one in the front, but the fan is still roaring, and it's still super hot in here, so it's really nice. I'm just sitting here listening to an audiobook and enjoying some relaxing time out in nature. I'm hoping to hear another splash and see another heron. That was so cool. Look at my eyes. I look cold, but I'm actually really warm. Really warm. Well, I'm trying something new today. Just sitting here listening to my audiobook and starting to get hungry. I know the salmon's going to take a while. Usually I've cooked it on top of the stove. But today, I thought I would try to cook it on the bottom. Maybe not fully, but I've seen people do this where they put stuff under here. It's really hot under here, and I have a whole row of logs that make it kind of sitting like even closer. So it's almost right up against the bottom of the stove, and the bottom of the stove is really hot. And I can actually tell that it's doing something. One, because I can smell the garlic coming off of the salmon. And also you can see, it's starting to kind of change color a little bit on the bottom here, where the fat is and where the skin is. So I'm just going to leave it under there for a while and see what happens. I have come to the conclusion that it is too hot to hot tent right now. It's 4 degrees. It feels like 1, I think. But I am roasting in there. I have 1 log in the stove and like some coals from the other stuff that burned earlier. I have the damper closed. I have the front damper just open a teeny tiny bit, and it's so hot. I was sitting on the bed, which was better, but I need to sit in the chair. I need something behind me. Like, I can't sit on the bed the whole time with no back. Anyways, hot, really hot. Very nice inside the hot tent. All right, well, it's been about a half an hour since the salmon has been under the stove. It is very, very hot. It is definitely cooking. It's changed color. I don't think it's done yet. It was not quite frozen. It was frozen this morning when I took it out of the freezer, but it's not anymore. So I'm going to put that back in there. I can barely touch the pan. It's very, very, very hot. So I'm going to leave that under there. In the meantime, while I've been waiting for that, I made myself a salad. Just tomato, cucumber, and some cheddar cheese. And then I just brought a package of Renee's Mediterranean Greek that I get with those little salads at the grocery store. I usually just take those salads home and I'll use my own dressing, and then I save these for camping. So works out good. I don't really need a whole package for myself, but it's much smaller than like a container would be if I poured it out of a bottle, so it comes in handy. All right, it is 5:50. I checked my phone and it looks like I put this in or under here at around 5:05, so about 45 minutes. Now it was done about 10 minutes ago, I thought, because it flaked. This is how I check my salmon. I just put my fork and kind of apply a little pressure and see if it flakes off, and it's all cooked on the inside, as you can see, and that's pretty much the same thickness as the thickest part. So this is done, so I'm super happy. All right, I'm gonna plate it and eat it. Yummy. There's my salad. Kind of messed up the presentation on my salmon, sorry, but I do have to make sure it's actually done before I have no idea. Oh, there we go. All right, there's my dinner. A nice salad with cucumbers and tomatoes and some cheese, and a nice piece of cooked salmon that was cooked underneath the stove. Well, it is 6:45 on Saturday night, and it's just starting to get dark here. Got the fire going really nicely. Just have 2 small pieces of wood. I barely put anything on in the last hour or 2 that I've been in the tent, actually. I burned very little wood, so that's good. I'm just going to go get some water before it gets completely dark and head back into the tent. Nice, warm, and cozy. I'm sitting here in my tank top just roasting away. Hello, what's going on in there? All right, well, it is 7:30-ish. It is now dark outside, and I'm gonna make myself some dessert. I brought stuff for a dessert wrap. My new favorite thing. I got peanut butter, chocolate, and marshmallow today. I also have made myself a nice yummy hot chocolate with Baileys, even though I do not need to be warmed up. I am extremely hot still, but that's okay. I'm gonna roll that up, and I'm not gonna wrap it in foil this time. I'm gonna put it in the frying pan. Wow, that looks pretty tasty. I opened it up and it's squishy inside, so I'm gonna let it sit for a bit because I don't want to burn my mouth, and then I'm gonna try it. I looked at my headlamp and now I keep getting all these really super bright flashes of light. It's a really powerful headlamp. You have to try not to look at it. The first time when I got it, I flashed it in my eyeballs by accident, and I got a migraine within like 15 minutes. So anyways, it is about 10:30. I know I sound stuffed up because I am. I think it's a combination of the smoke, which is not super smoky in here, but you know, every once in a while it gets a little smoky. I've got a fire in here and a stove, but I also have fall allergies, and you know, I'm sitting here literally like sitting in the leaves. So I guess that's why. I don't really know. I sneezed like about 50 times, and now my nose has been stuffed up ever since, but I feel fine. I am very tired though, and it's getting late, and I'm gonna head to bed. It's super cozy in here still. I just put a whole bunch of wood in the fire. I've only been burning like one piece at a time, like for like an hour. I had just the coals in the stove for the last, I don't know, probably the last hour, maybe longer, because it was so hot when I had a fire going. I couldn't even sit up in the chair. I had to sit on the ground and I was still sweating to death. So just the coals seemed to be good. But I put the one of the 8-hour logs in there that burns for about 3, and I put a really big piece of wood on and then a smaller piece, and I close the damper and I just have the front open a little tiny bit. So that's my warning that my headlamp's gonna go. So I'm gonna say goodnight. I will see you in the morning. Hopefully I have a lovely sleep, and it's all good. I just checked the weather. It says it's 1, feels like -1. And I hear lots of stuff moving around outside in that like swamp in front of my campsite. So I don't know what's out there. I heard something walking distinctly, and I went out with the flashlight and I couldn't see anything. So it's really hard too, because the smoke from the fire, from the stove, is going like right over that way, and it's kind of making it foggy, and then it's hard to see with the headlamp. Anyways, I'm gonna lose my light in a minute, so I better go. Bye. Good night. Heard a couple loon calls last night, and another one just now. Happy to hear they haven't left yet. Probably be the last ones of the season. It is around 7:30 a.m. on Sunday morning, and just gone to visit the privy for the 3rd or 4th time this morning. It's a little bit chilly. It's about -2 right now. Feels like -3. And I have been nice and cozy warm all night in my hot tent. It's been quite lovely. There's been a beaver slapping its tail quite a few times throughout the night, right in front of where my tent is. Good morning. It is 10 to 8 on Sunday morning. I've just got a new piece of wood in the stove, so I've got a nice fire going, and I've just put my sausages that I pre-cooked a little bit yesterday back in the foil on the fire. It was already in the foil, so I figured I might as well just leave it there. And got my English muffins here, just toasting. It actually looks like it's almost done. And then I'm going to make 2 eggs over easy to put on top of the English muffins. And that'll be my breakfast. Alright, my eggs are on, and they shouldn't take too long to cook. Sausages are getting nice and brown, and my English muffin is nicely toasted. So, shouldn't take too long. I do have the door wide open. It is way too hot to cook in here with the door closed. Alright, my breakfast is ready in no time at all, and I'm going to sit here and eat before it cools off. In the meantime, while I've been here making breakfast, the sun has been coming up. It's actually quite pretty. It looks a lot nicer in person than it does on the video. I have found my beaver. Just in the water swimming towards the rock up there. He just went under. Beautiful sunrise here this morning. I think he's getting ready for a big tail slap. Doesn't seem bothered by me at all. Surprised it's not slapping its tail at me. He's just chomping away on something, probably a stick of some sort. He's off and running. There it is. I was wondering how long that was going to take. I'm surprised it took so long. Well, it's 10 after 9 and just tearing down, packing up. My backpack is all packed. The stove is in the box and in the canoe already. And now I just have to fold up the tent and put it in the bag, and then put it in the bin and pack the canoe, and then I'm on my way. Happy to be heading out early. Starting to get very windy here, and of course the wind is against me. So I'm gonna make my way out as soon as I can get done here and get all packed up. All right, it is just about 9:30. I have got the canoe all loaded up. Looks good. It's a little chilly still this morning. It's about -1 right now, and I'm gonna make my way towards the access. I'm really happy I came. It was a short trip. Sometimes they are, especially at this time of the year. It's hard to get out for 2 nights when it gets dark so early. But I'm happy I came. I'm very, very happy that I finally got to do a hot tent with the canoe. I've never been able to do that before, so that was really cool. It's still a little too hot for the hot tent. I think I would have been fine in my Suma 2 Eureka, just regular tent and maybe a hot water bottle. But it was nice to be warm and cozy all night. I slept with my sleeping bag open the whole night, and it was just wonderful. So gonna make my way out before the winds get too bad, and I'll check in with you in a bit. All right, I am off. I am paddling into the sun to the takeout. I'm still paddling along here. Even though it seems very windy, I'm moving quite well. Just wanted to note that I really like camping at the Massasauga. It's a beautiful park. It is Pete's Place. Access is 23 minutes or something from my house. But I can't afford to camp here anymore. You know, I did it this weekend because it was super convenient and it was a last minute decision, but it cost me $57 for one night. They changed the system. I don't know for this park why, but you know, that site that I saw 3 tents on and like 9 people or however many were on there. I didn't count the people, maybe there were 6, but you know, for them it's, you know, $5, $7 a person. For me it's $57, and I don't know why on earth they did something like that, but it makes me really sad because it's a beautiful park. It's really close to where I live, and I would love to come back and, you know, camp here often, but I just can't afford that. It's just way too much money for me for one night of camping. It's just beautiful out here. There's nobody out here. It's just wonderful to be out here right now and enjoy the calm and the solitude and just paddle through. So beautiful. All right, it is 10 after 10 and I am just almost at the access. Just to note that I camp year-round, so please continue to check my channel for adventures. I will be publishing them as they come. I camp winter, spring, summer, and fall, so hope to see you over the winter season, and be safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye. I just got off the water and I'm unloading the boat, and I just heard thunder rumble. I'm really glad I left when I did. It's not even in the forecast for today, so good thing. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you saw, please click the subscribe button. Also click the bell for notifications. If you'd like to get more information on the stuff I use on my trips, please check out my website at CamperChristina.com. Thanks. Bye.